Good evening and welcome to the ME7 podcast ahead of what is going to be most likely the hottest night of the year so far since yesterday anyway. Earlier on today, the Gills fans learned where they will be putting themselves most of their Saturdays ahead of the new season between August and May. And we're here today to react to mostly that, but also look at the recent incomings for the squad and take a look at where the squad is and how it's shaping up ahead of the new season. I am joined tonight by Dave and Scoops, who have braved the possibility of sweating on camera for us. And we are live, so anything could happen.
It's usually a different stream site, isn't it, for that? A bit of sweat.
Yeah,
anyway,
different site. It's normally paid for.
Yeah.
Not that I know what you're talking about anyway. Good evening, gents. How are they faring with the heat? We doing all right?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. It's a hot one. It definitely is.
It's a hot one. Yes,
as a Scotsman, I'm struggling. You just have to turn on a light, and I both.
Now, you said about mentioning Scotland. You've done it within 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that, Dave. You shot yourself in the foot there massively.
Well,
can't hear you. Breaking up.
We wish you all the best ahead of the third or the round of 32.
I thought you were saying ahead of the journey home.
Well, you're already home. Cool. Gents, let's talk fixtures because obviously the fixture release list came out today. 46 games to play in League Two. It's a long old season, as we know. Haven't had previous, 44 games, 46 games to play. Oh, I've lost track of it already.
44. 46, yeah, 46.
46, thank you for that, yeah.
23 other teams, yeah.
Yes, of course. And as the majority of the fan base feels, this is a pretty crucial season ahead. 2-year plan or no 2-year plan. Obviously, the failings of last season, we need to improve on that ahead of 26, 27. Dave, we'll start with you. Your verdict earlier on the post from the fixtures was a tough start and a tough finish. So Absolutely. It's also Fleetwood and relegated Northampton in August, and then we've got Salford and then Swindon away in May. Are you looking at those teams thinking that they're going to be up there or thereabouts?
Well, I'd extend that. I mean, start off at Walsall. I think they'll be strong. They always are. Decent team. Fleetwood
half the season
until the winter.
Yeah, they do at Gillingham. Yeah, Fleetwood don't know. Northampton, you can expect coming down. They're going to be quite strong. Chesterfield is away. Then Rochdale coming up. I think they're a good side. Rochdale got over 100 points. Tranmere, then Bristol Rovers. Evans will have them firing, and then at the end of September, York City. It's quite. I don't think we'll be top of the league coming end of September. Put it that way.
And can you feasibly weigh up these teams and go, obviously, like, because we can look at which teams might have a good season based on based on previous seasons, obviously clubs that were close to going up last season, or do you expect it to just be a complete unknown really until you get nearer to the season starting?
I think you make a fair assumption about teams like York and Rochdale. They're coming in with momentum, 100 odd points. They're going to be good. They're going to be strong. Get the squads together. I mean, Chesterfield. I mean, for our level, I think they're a decently big club. They're a big club. Bristol Rovers. You saw what happened to them when Evans came in. They improved significantly.
And they've done really well with recruitment too so far as well.
I mean, they've got another season before it implodes, so they'll be strong next season. And and Walsall. I mean, funny team Walsall. I just think Walsall are always there or thereabouts. They just sort of tail off towards the business end of the season. And I think to any team coming down like a Northampton or something like that is gonna. You've got to be careful of. I actually think this is a stronger league than last year. I really do. In the sense that last year you had teams that you could pick out and go, they're good. MK Dons, Notts County, they'll be strong. And there was a lot of teams that were much of a muchness. This season, I think there are a lot of teams on paper you can look at and go, I mean, the ones we talked about, Rotherham, for example, Port Vale, Grimsby, these are all going to be teams that are going to be decent.
And especially as you say, the two National League sides that come up have replaced Barrow and Harrogate. Like, doesn't really compare, does it, to the size of the squad, size of the the clubs itself. Scoops, going through some of the names there again, it's going to be a very northern feel to it. This league, isn't it? Only Barnet, Crawley, and Colchester are going to be sort of within our immediate area. And obviously, even if you're not up north, you've got to go to Exeter for the first time since 2013 in the league. Is part of it the excitement for Gills fans planning away days, of weekends away, maybe going to Fleetwood or to the Fylde Coast for the first away weekend of the season? Is that part of what fans can now look forward to? Is yes, the travelling could be a bit of a pain in the arse for getting up early and going long distances to see a 0-0 draw at wherever, but actually that's part and parcel, isn't it, of what Gills fans get excited about?
Yeah, so optimistic there, Tom. Going there for a 0-0 draw, I like that. But yeah, I would say
it could be a good 0-0.
Yeah, well, I think we'd all take 0-0 after last season. But yeah, I think from our point of view, 100%. Even with the long, we had long enough trips last season, wasn't it? I think we were talking about it was something like 3,500 miles or something like that. I can't even remember off the top of my head. But we've always had since the Gallisons have come in, we've had a fantastic away following, and we will continue to have that next season, no doubt. Even if we are sitting in mid-table mediocrity, there will still be a strong following of Gillingham fans who will follow up and down the country. I think going back to you look at that first away day of the season is Fleetwood away, Blackpool weekender. Everybody's looking forward to it. I reckon it's going to be a good turnout for that one, definitely for the Gills fans. Well, fingers crossed. Hopefully not 34 degrees, though. We can't be having that.
We've got sunshine now, and we're trying to get rid of it.
34 degrees north of Watford, anyway.
I never thought we'd see at the Highbury Stadium on the 22nd of August, water breaks every 25 minutes. Everybody's going to love to see that, aren't they? But yeah, I think there's going to be a long travel, a long journey for them. It's going to be an expensive season as well, no doubt. But I think the following will be there. And looking at those first away days of the season, they're probably some of the best. I'm looking forward to York City away. That's the first one I looked at. I was like, yes, York City away is the one. Great little community stadium they've got outside the city, but just a fantastic city overall. So, it's a good away day there. Rochdale, best fish and chip shop on the corner of the stadium there. Never been there. Heard of the legend. That's all I'm going to say. But then from an aspect of, you're looking at those first batches of games there. I think out of most of them, if you look up to the 10th of October, Rotherham United away. I know they were woeful last season. But that's a tough away day. It's always a tough away day going to.
They're good up there, getting out of this league, Rotherham. They know how to get out of League Two.
Yes, definitely. They're like yo-yo side between League One and League Two. I know they had a couple of seasons under Warren in the Championship, but I think they were punching well above their weight there. But yeah, I think realistically, looking at those first, I can't even count how many games. There's 10 games there. I think we'll be happy with 5 wins out of them, because there are a lot of teams there who are going to be vying for playoffs and top half of the top 10 of the table.
On the plus side, getting out of the way early, and then we can focus on the running to the top 7.
We might start season badly for once.
We'll do it in reverse instead.
We'll do that.
Dave, when it comes to, you talked about away games, any teams you're looking forward to welcoming to Priestfield? Some that we've not played in a little while. Any games that stand out for you there?
Not home games. I was looking forward to Exeter away because my son's at Exeter Uni, but we've got them in the Easter holiday, so he's not even going to be there. I know, and always look for Cheltenham away. Kids are up there, and I lived up there, so nice.
January the 9th.
January the 9th, that one. Yeah, lovely. That'll be good. I mean, I'm 100% with Scoops. I think York will be a good away day. I've just been going through when I'm away and what games I'm going to miss, and I'm missing things like Crewe, Accrington, Stanley. So you look at it and you go, actually, it's not bad from the point of view that for holidays I'm going to miss. I'm going to miss those games.
You say that they'll be the games that will be classics, modern classics.
Yeah, possibly. But I think the issue is we've been at this level now for a few years. Certainly, we haven't been out of this out of the third and fourth tier for over a couple of decades now. So these teams, majority of them, we've played before, home and away. It's really York. That's the new one. Everyone else we've played, and I'll be honest with you. I mean, Boxing Day, Crawley away, nice and local, but is it Crawley? No disrespect.
It was only going to be, wasn't it, one of three teams on Boxing Day.
That's not disrespect to Crawley. It's just Crawley as a football club. It's a disrespect to Crawley as a place. It's it's just kind of Gatwick, aren't we? And then Exeter on New Year's Day at home. I mean,
I feel sorry for the Exeter fans.
Exactly.
New Year's Day. I was just surprised there wasn't Colchester United on one of them, because usually that's dead set for a Boxing Day, mid-Christmas game, or New Year's Day. So I'm quite surprised to see that as a November away. That's my local away day, so I'm quite happy.
I noticed the fixture computer stuck us on a Tuesday night away at, let me see where it is. We are away at Chesterfield, and we've got 2 long trips away from home on a Tuesday night.
Port Vale in January as well, away at night.
So mind you, if it's a Northern League, it's going to happen, right? But
yeah, definitely.
And Tuesday nights would have been good, maybe for a Colchester's, Crawley's, Gills. Maybe use a bit of common sense. If you got Tuesday games,
Excel's presidents can't do that, Dave. That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You'd like to think of a bit of common sense,
And Scoop, obviously, with you not being in the Medway sort of area, are you planning any away days based on where you are? Any local games for you?
Well, yeah, locals for me is probably Colchester, literally 15 miles away. So it's spot on for me, perfect for me. And then Northampton's not too bad. It's about an hour and a half. So it's a pretty good one for me. But the ones I'm looking at are York, definitely. It's definitely one that we're looking at. Grimsby away is always one I go to. I don't know what it is about Blundell Park, but I just can't. I just love it.
It can't get worse than last year's trip, can it?
No, it can't. I can't. To be fair, when we went down at night, when it went down in nine, when it went down to 9 men, I thought we actually played better than we had when we had 11. So we'll see. But loads of games I'm looking at.
Where are we Easter Monday or Good Friday, Easter Monday?
Pressure now.
What days are they?
Crawley at home. So Exeter away on the Easter Friday, and then you're at Crawley on the Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Because typically we try and get a golf trip on the weekend, so we take in the Good Friday game. And
whoever's watching, if anybody is watching, take note of Dave's personal calendar here, because we're expecting an invite to the next golf trip.
If you play golf, you're more than welcome, mate.
That's it.
We'll try and get a sponsor with whoever you play golf with. You mentioned them enough over the course of the year. So
we'll sort something out. Hey, listen, where are you based, Scoops?
I'm Suffolk, mate.
Suffolk, right? Okay, so we'll sort something out.
Away game. Right, if you want, I can drop off and you guys have a chat.
Right, Tom, don't worry about it, mate. You come be caddy if you want, mate. It's fun.
I can't play golf. I haven't tried, but I know I can't.
What makes you think I can?
Because you go often enough. That's pretty wide.
Well,
you must be good at it to a certain degree. Dave, back on the football. It's a big season for us, obviously, for the pressure that's been put on the plan and the quotations from Brad about it being a complete sort of an overhaul and a refresh and start again. It's too early to tell how it's going to go for any of the 24 clubs in League Two ahead of the new season, but getting past the October-November slump is going to be key for us. Obviously, you mentioned the quality of the teams that we're playing on paper in the first couple of months anyway, so it's not going to be easy. As we head into 2027, the priority, I guess, will be being in the mix if we want to have ambitions of being in the top 7. What is progression this season? Okay. you're right, but what do you see as an improvement, and what will the fans accept based on, are the fans going to accept a slight amount of progression, i.e. being top half, for example, as a good season, or does it all come into context based on where we're at certain points of the campaign?
I think it depends on your outlook in life. I mean, I'm old enough and ugly enough to be realistic to know that Gillingham Football Club is not a team that traditionally has a lot of success. For me, progression would be better performances, Priestfield being maybe not a fortress, but a better home record.
Yeah.
And to me, getting back to being difficult to beat. But I mean, to me, that's progression. In terms of league, I'll tell you now where I think we'll finish, even before the transfers come in. I think, irrespective of who we'll sign, we will be at best 8th to 10th. At best.
But to me, that signals a good season, because we're not going to jump from 17th times 3 or 12th place once under Clements straight up to being a top 7 candidate. We need to progress slowly.
I think if you look at that league, I think there's the quality in there, and you look at teams like York and Rochdale who've got the momentum. I mean, 100 odd points, irrespective of whatever league that is. You saw what teams like Notts County and Wrexham did coming into that with those sort of level of points. They'll be tough to beat. Swindon will be tough to beat. Grimsby will still be good. Bristol Rovers. I mean, you can Rotherham, Northampton, Walsall. You could make a case for at least 15 teams, including Gillingham, I hasten to add. It's going to be really, really competitive and really tough to break into the top 7. And they've spoke about the 2-year plan. I think they shot themselves in the foot, if I'm brutally honest about even mentioning that. But realistically, I don't care who we sign. I don't think that the team we've got, the core of that, is ready to challenge, certainly for the top 3. I think progression will be a top 10 finish.
And we'll go on to talk more about the current squad situation a bit later on. Scoops, in terms of the last question about the fixtures and about sort of what that means for us, obviously Gareth's been put under a little bit of pressure, not only with the 2-year plan declaration, but also performances in the back end of last season. Obviously a lot of home thrashings, away defeats, and not looking like as men against boys for a lot of those games. In terms of Gareth and the tough start we've mentioned about on paper, does a tough start for the Gills put Gareth's position, again, this is probably going to sound quite negative off the bat, but does it put his position in jeopardy if we have a bad start? Because we know how we've fared when we've had a good start and we've then gone off the boil, to put it lightly. At what point do fans get on his back and maybe lose some of the optimism earlier in the season if we don't start well?
Well, I think we all know about Gillingham fans. It'll be 3 games into the season. If we don't get 3 points out of the first 3 games, they'll be on his back straight away. But in the more realistic world that we live in, I'm thinking you're looking at there is going to be pressure, and that's why I'm trying to. Looking at the fixture list, there are a lot of teams who are going to be challenging up there, and a lot of teams who are big teams for League 2, and have always been good League 2 sides, likes of Rochdale, Rotherham, Port Vale. They're always teams that do well in League 2, and then as soon as they make that jump to League 1, they struggle. I think realistically, you've got to give Gareth Ainsworth this season 18 games. I think you've got to give him 18 games of the season and see where you are. Then if you're sitting there at 13th, 14th position after 18 games, the fans are going to obviously be asking questions. They're all going to be shouting for his head. That's it. But then I think serious questions have got to be asked by Gallison of Ainsworth, because, we would have been on probably one of the worst runs that we've had in a long time if we look at the back end of last season, and we haven't started off the season particularly well. So there will be questions asked, but I think you've got to give him at least 18 games to a season, this season as well, with which you could say a complete squad. I know people will say we signed a lot of players last season, but this is his first season of a complete squad rebuild.
We've not had an overhaul, have we, for a while like this, in terms of the amount of players that have left the club. So it will take a little bit longer, I guess, to get back into a rhythm that he will, be able to get out of these players. Dave?
So I'll go even further. I think the die's been cast. By backing him, I think we've got to give him the whole season. Obviously, if we're bottom 2 or 3rd or 4th bottom, then things change. But you have to give him the whole season with his squad. And then at the end of that season, if we've underperformed or, we've made no progression, then you have to say, sorry, move on to the next one. I think the Gallinsons have actually nailed their colours to the mast now. And I think if they got rid of him, certainly this side of the year, 2026, I think then you ask questions of the owners. I think it's not just a big season for Ainsworth. I think it's a big season for the owners. I really do, because if Ainsworth fails, Ainsworth, Harris, Clements, Bonner, it's a revolving door. Coleman. You have to look at the owners and say, who's making the decisions around the managers, and who's making the decisions about, who's in charge of the squad. And listen, this isn't a pop at Brad and Shannon. I think they've been amazing, fantastic owners, wonderful owners. But you have to say, from a management perspective, it hasn't really worked.
No.
And I'm a big believer in continuity. Stick with him. You have to look at Ferguson. Traditionally, you stick with a manager. The majority of successful teams who stick with their managers are successful. I'm not a hire or fire him person. Whether I think Gareth Ainsworth's the right man is a different question. That's not the question I'm answering. The question I'm answering is, you stick with a manager, you give him all the opportunity, you give him all the tools to succeed. And the longer you give him, statistically, you're going to get success or a better chance of success.
Can I ask No, it's not controversial. I think it's a valid point, Dave. And I think from our point of view, and I'm going to go from the complete opposite right now and ask this question to you both and Tom as well. If we have a fantastic season next season and we do find ourselves at Wembley and we lose in that playoff final, what do we do? Well, that's the question there. And see, like,
in terms of manager?
Yeah, in terms of manager, yeah. Because obviously the 2-year plan, but the 2-year plan has always been, isn't it? Is promotion out of League 2 in 2 years. You could go down the Salford route, couldn't you? And start. Carl Robinson was through. I know they got battered on that playoff final.
Yeah, that was madness.
Then 24 hours later, he's gone.
Yeah,
I just think about. Go on.
No, I think context though. We've finished atrociously for a couple of years now. Obviously, we finished well under Harris to get ourselves out of the bottom, the relegation dogfight. We didn't kick on then. We had a poor finish under Clements, poor finish under Ainsworth. Last season, and obviously the one before that, we finished low down because even despite Ainsworth's pick up with the fall, we were still obviously in a really poor position. So I think if you look at it now, a top 7 finish is still progression. If you don't win that last game at Wembley, that doesn't mean you've failed. It means you've enhanced where you were the previous 4 or 5 seasons. So for me, it's a marker. It sets a benchmark for, we know that we can achieve a top 7 finish. I try and see it like you with its progression. We've obviously played better. We've gotten to a Wembley final for the first time in quite a long time. Stick with him. Go one better. I mean, I'd love to be in that situation where we're actually discussing a Wembley final in May next year. Not convinced.
That's just my.
I just think I agree with you. If I was the owner, and if I was Ainsworth, I'd come out of a statement and say, right, this 2-year plan thing, rip it up. This is the this is something, it's naivety, in my view. Scally used to do it all the time. You know, I'm really happy with this squad. I reckon this squad could get us promoted. This squad's come out and just say, right, we 2-year thing, mistake, ripped it up. The aim this year is progression to improve where we were last year. And Ainsworth comes out and says, I'm not going to put a target. I'm not going to say I want us to finish here. What I'll say is I want a team, and I have a team to compete with every single team in this league. And again, improvement on last year. Just come out. Do not set a target. Do not say we're getting to get out of this league in X amount of times. The aim is this. The aim is that. Just, it's cringeworthy. And all it does is build pressure and get certain elements of the fan base, give them unrealistic expectations. And anything below that, even like you say, a playoff final, they will be hammering him because it's failure. We're still in this league. You're absolutely right. Certain people are going to go, we lost in the final. It don't matter. We could have lost in the final. We could have lost in the semi-final. We could have not made the playoffs. We're still not promoted. It's a failure. So all they're doing is setting up to fail. Just scrap all this nonsense about our aim is this, our aim is that, and just say, right, our aim is progression, improvement.
Yeah.
We aim to compete, be hard to beat, be this, be that, make Priestfield difficult place to come to. Do all that. Get the fans on board and say, guys, come on. You're in this as much as we are. We need you at Priestfield. Make this place horrible. And you know, look, we're going to lose. We're going to stink the joint out in certain games. We know that. Everyone in this league's going to. And there's certain games where we're going to go and do what we did against Chesterfield. And all of a sudden we're going to be Scotland or we're going to be Argentina. You know, so forget all this nonsense about plans and where we're going to finish and just aim to be better. Just improve and be better and be competitive. Because at times last season we weren't competitive.
Yeah, agreed. Putting unnecessary pressure on when I guess we don't need to. Again, there's already pressure ahead of the season now because of how we expect it to go. Scoops, another fixture that was announced today was the first round of the Carabao Cup, and we are playing against Luton Town, formerly of the Premier League, now obviously of League One. Thoughts on that one? We didn't quite get the glamour tie we wanted, the West Hams and so on and so forth, which would have been nice. Your thoughts on that one, and also the fact that it's on a Saturday afternoon, the weekend before the season starts. I'm not a fan of that at all. Your thoughts on the game, and is it winnable?
Well, what I'm going to say is a Saturday Carabao Cup tie is obviously hashtag woke nonsense. That's what it is. But I can tell you from a fact of absolute, what a joke. Carabao Cup on a Saturday, you know, usually it's the cup final. But no, first round at Luton Town, brilliant. What's the attendance going to be for that? 3,500, 2,500? Well, I can tell you that's going to be a big game.
It's going to be like last season when we played them in pre-season, didn't we? It's going to feel like that again.
So yeah, from our point of view, I saw it. I was just like, okay, it's Carabao Cup. You know, really, what is it? Doesn't really mean anything to us. I think most of the country don't really. Well, it's the League Cup. You know, it's not what it used to be. That's all I will say. But yeah, underwhelming. We'll see how we get on. It's just another pre-season, isn't it? Another pre-season friendly for us.
Dave, similar thoughts from you?
I'm not sure I agree with the woke nonsense bit. I actually quite like the idea because it's not the Tuesday night, so more people will travel. But we're not going to win it, so it's an opportunity to maybe play some of the squad players and
we've lost him at the same time.
Lost him, yeah. My dismissal of woke nonsense has upset him. He's back. There he is.
He's back somewhere. He's back on audio, but he's not on video yet.
Yeah, I just think that we're not going to win the trophy.
No,
we won't be putting out our strongest team, whatever that is. And maybe it's an opportunity to flog another promising youngster to Luton Town. Yeah,
and then to sell him on loan to Woking afterwards. In the absence of Scoops, who may have melted, reports to be confirmed, let's go on to some of the new arrivals, Dave, because today we announced our 5th new arrival with Kadeem Harris coming in after his Salford contract expired. I want to talk about the sort of the bit of a mixed bag in terms of experience and obviously players that are not so experienced, obviously in terms of your Albaresses and your Will Goodwins. But Liam Gordon, 30 years of age, a lot of games in the Scottish leagues. Kadeem Harris, 33 years of age, a lot of games in the EFL, and obviously James Brophy, a lot of games for Cambridge and Leighton Orient and co. Do you reckon? Do you think that's a kind of intentional move from Ainsworth to maybe put more experience in the team, but also for them not to be aged, which we had a few of, last season? Is that?
I think that the blueprint of signing people like Vokes and some of the older names like that. I think what they're looking at is more is experience, but they've gone down the route of players in their late 20s, players in their early 30s. I mean, I couldn't believe some of the comments about Kadeem Harris. Oh, he's 33. So what? He's younger than Vokes. He's younger than McCleary. I mean, come on. He's been injured. Show me a player who hasn't been injured. Every time I've seen him play, I've actually quite liked him. I think he's got something about him. He's got like a really good burst over 5 or 10 yards. He knows where the goal is. And you look at some of the feedback from Salford fans saying that, you keep him fit, you've got a player there. When he started, he looked like a really good player. So I'm willing to, fill out the squad with players like Kadeem Harris, who's been there, has that experience. But the one for me that stands out is Gordon, Liam Gordon. I think that is an insanely good piece of business. I really do. My dad's a Motherwell fan, ironically, and my family all being up there. And, I said, we've signed. And they were like, really?
Yeah.
Why is he leaving a team that's playing in Europe to come to Gillingham? And that's the point. He's gone away from playing Premier League football, where he scored against Celtic in that controversial game with the handball that basically robbed Hearts of the title. And he's got pedigree. He's a good player. He's a good age. He's 6'3", and he was coveted by not only Motherwell. There was, I think, Kilmarnock were definitely interested, and a couple of other Premier League teams are interested. Now, I don't know whether that says that the wages in the Premier League in Scotland are not great. I imagine that's probably a lot to do with it, but I think that's a really good signing. I think that's a really, really good signing. How's he going to transition between Scotland and England? I don't think it'll be an issue. I just think that's a really good, solid, signing. He's good on the ball. He's good in the air. He's experienced. He's a leader. And you look at Motherwell last season. The guy who was their manager, I think he's gone now. I can't remember if he was Finnish or something.
I think I recall. Yeah.
They had one of the best defensive records in Scotland, and he was an integral part of that. I think it's a really, really good, shrewd signing by Ainsworth. I like that a lot. I really do.
And in terms of the profile of player, because we can talk a lot about, everyone runs to stats and facts and figures when we look at new signings to try and justify, I guess, the opinion of whether they're a good signing or not. Obviously, with defenders, you can't always do that. It's more about injuries, games played. But for me, defenders is more of a character thing, isn't it? It's you look at the way that the way that Beckles was bigged up in January as being a leader, a potential captain, a good sort of setting the training standards within the club. Gordon has that kind of similar aura from what Motherwell fans have said, and St Johnstone fans too. you expect for someone like that to come down to Kent and for the first time coming to English football, that something must have been sold about the club and the vision of the club to actually kind of entice him to do that. The same with Ronan Hale to a certain degree. So what do you think it is that would have appealed Gordon sort of to us and nobody else?
Well, I think, I don't know who else, if anyone else in England, but it's always the big, shiny English football. I mean, if you look at traditionally, some bloody good Scottish players have come down, and played in England. And it just, I know the Scottish Premier League isn't as strong as the English Premier League, possibly even the Championship, but the pull of testing yourself in England, and look, this could be, a stepping stone for him. I know he's 30, but he plays well. A Championship club could look at him. You don't know, and I don't know. I don't know if Ronan Hale's had a little word in his ear and said, look, he's good down here, and quite like it.
Based on last season, probably not.
Based on last season. But what I would say is, I mean, having been to Motherwell and Medway are quite similar.
Sorry, Motherwell fans.
No, in a good way. You got it's an industrial. Motherwell. You got Steelworks, Ravenscraig. So he's coming from a similar place to Medway, and I think he'll fit in. I'm just astonished we've signed a player on paper. I know we could look at all the Nevitts, Nolans, all these players we've signed on paper, who we all got excited about, because we've signed a defender. Maybe it's me. I'm actually more excited than this than I was about a Gillingham signing for quite a while. I think this could be an exceptional bit of business. I really do. And
we're really hoping so. Obviously, a lot of the signs are there in terms of good age, good height, good pedigree. Played.
4 centre halves now, right? 2 experienced, 2 young.
Yeah.
And if you're Smith and you're Gale, having Beckles and having Gordon around them is only going to make them better. And also what it allows us is gives us an extra option in Robbie McKenzie playing in midfield.
That's true, yeah. And I one of my questions I'm going to ask later on will be about how these players fit in. We have seemingly lost Scoops. We'll check on him later on. We'll do a little welfare check to make sure that he's okay.
Yeah.
His phone has died, unfortunately. So yes, hold his shirt up like they do in
a minute's silence.
Yeah, exactly. In the meantime, Dave, let's talk about we've signed 5 players, a variety of different positions on the pitch, but obviously we need to fill the goalkeeper slots, and every post that the Gills put up, there's fans going, is he a goalkeeper? No, he's not. He's a centre-half. Obviously, the club will be very much aware that we haven't got a senior goalkeeper on the books. Tate Holton, to an extent, is senior, but he isn't, experienced enough. Apart from bringing in a goalkeeper or 2, where should we be prioritising ahead of the new season? We've brought in a couple of wide players, centre half, centre midfielder, albeit a young one for the future, and obviously a striker. Where else do we need to look urgently ahead of the new season?
I think at fullback, I think we need to strengthen. Certainly at left back. A lot of it depends on really how we set up. Are we going to go with wing backs again, 3 centre halves and 2 wing backs?
And that was going to be my next question, Dave, because I was sorry to interrupt, but it ended nicely. Obviously, the signing of Gordon would indicate that maybe we're looking at a back 3 / a back 5, but we haven't necessarily got the wing backs to be able to facilitate that. So
Brophy has played wing back.
But should he be playing in a has-played position, or should he be further forward? And Harris or Hutton on the other sides, would maybe they go into a central role?
Yeah. Square pegs and round holes again, isn't it?
I've missed you saying that over the summer.
There you go. We get a plaque made. I think I mean a left back, an out and out left back, is needed. I think Hutton needs competition. He's on his last season. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if he left. Hutton. So I'm not sure Gareth Ainsworth would. I think Ainsworth will bring someone in, and it may well be to replace Hutton. I don't think he's maybe first choice for Ainsworth. I quite like Hutton. I'll be honest with you. He's a decent enough player at our level. But I think fullbacks we need to improve in. Midfield we're fine. We desperately need some pace. Really need some pace in that team. I'd like an explosively quick wide man if possible. And we've got how many strikers? We've got 3 strikers now, haven't we?
So Goodwin, Hale, and Seb as our strikers.
So I think we'll need another striker.
Again, depending on how we choose to line up, whether he's got a plan A and a plan B. Obviously, he wants us to be adaptable, but for me, there was too much jinking around last season, weren't there? So
I think he'll sign another target man.
Okay.
He liked. I mean, you've got Hale and Palmer Holden who are not target men. I would say he brought this new lad in. Oh God, I forgot his name now.
Goodwin.
Got Goodwin in, who is a centre forward who holds the ball up and good in the air. I think he'll look to bring somebody else in of that ilk, maybe a younger version than Goodwin. So I think there. So it'd be 2 goalkeepers. I think 2 fullbacks, a striker. I mean, he did say 6 more, didn't he? We've had 1, so we're down to 5.
Yeah,
I think those are
and he will. The loan market too. Obviously, they're both.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dobson's talked up, hasn't he? He's talked up the loan options. We didn't really use loans an awful lot last season.
No, we haven't.
Didn't need to. But there is value, isn't there, in getting a player on a loan deal and then for a season and then maybe seeing how the shoe fits afterwards. There's been talk about loan goalkeepers and that sort of stuff. Would you be an advocate of a loan goalkeeper, or would you want a permanent fixture in there?
I think we'll get 1 permanent goalkeeper and 1 loan goalkeeper.
Okay.
A loan goalkeeper is on his last year of his contract.
Yeah. It's been mentioned. I know that the Ollie Wright thing's been mentioned.
Yeah. I think
Plymouth are apparently into him right now. So
are they?
Who knows?
Okay. Yeah.
If you unsubstantiated reports as always, but
yeah,
you never know.
I think if I was a betting man, I'd put a lot of money on Wright being a goalkeeper. But I think what we need is quality. I mean, no disrespect to Morris. Morris was coming to the end of his career, and you saw the mistakes starting to creep in. Turner, a lot of people. I thought he was a good shot stopper, but a lot of people didn't take to him. I'd love to see 2 what I would call number 1s, but I just would love to see a goalkeeper who of quality, and then if there's somebody of maybe of the level of a Turner or a Morris there to support him, because I think that's no disrespect to Tate Holman. I don't think he's ready yet for full-time league football. Yeah, but listen, who knows? But what I would say is I find it hilarious people moaning, that we haven't got a goalkeeper, as if the season's going to start tomorrow, and
I'm sure the club will address it by the first
or already have addressed
game
it
at least,
and aren't going to can't announce it until the 1st of July onwards.
Of course, contracts officially end, don't they? In the 30th of June. So
whoever's been moaning constantly on social media about us not having a goalkeeper, have a bit of patience. Give your head a wobble. Understand how it all works a little bit, and there will be a raft of signings. I suspect back in the next week.
The club will definitely address the lack of goalkeeper. It's not going to be a monkey rush situation.
No, and let's be honest. People are saying, goalkeepers are going. Well, are they? How do you know who we're targeting? You know, the club.
You'll probably be surprised about how early they're done, wouldn't you? Obviously, they're announced on day one, but they're probably done, 3 or 4 days prior to that, and actually can't.
Well, in fact, there will be deals that have been done already and will not be announced to the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of July, even later if the player's on holiday.
Of course.
I mean, right. Let's look back. Was there not some footage of a player in a new Jill shirt and it wasn't announced for a few days later? Just because we want something to happen does not mean it's going to happen when we want it. These people are, they know what they're doing. They're professional people. And come on. If we haven't signed a goalkeeper or two, we will sign one within the next week to 10 days.
Of course. And obviously, we're the 2nd week of July when we start our pre-season. I think it's the 14th. We go to Dover.
Exactly. And listen,
it's not far away.
We start our pre-season training. They're not back at training yet. I mean, come on. No. Give them a chance.
Certainly, we'll definitely get there. We are fully aware, I'm sure, of the gaps in our squad currently, and we will look to arrest those gaps shortly. I'm very excited to see what happens in the next few weeks before we kick off. I think, as much as the World Cup's currently on, I think when it comes to the reality of League Two football and pre-season and that sort of stuff, that's what we really look for, isn't it? In terms of getting excited about it. And the first home game of the season, albeit Luton to one side, we're looking ahead to Walsall. And I'm
some of us can focus 100% on Gillingham now. World Cup's not a distraction.
But you can enjoy the experience of watching it, in quarters with the hydration breaks.
What I'll say is, right, I hope England do well. I'll draw the line at win it because you lot will be bloody unbearable. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
We already are to a degree after the Ghana one. You think the world was ending.
My kids are English and and for the country it'd be great, but certain people just be unbearable. And for those people, I hope England don't win it. But for the rest of the people, good luck to England. And I think England won't win it, but I think they'll go semi-finals.
I was going to end it on good luck to England as a soundbite from you. I might just play that over and over. But we will end it there, Dave. Appreciate it. Obviously, we lost Scoops halfway through. That's a Germany flag.
Of course it is.
Oh, dear.
I work for a German company, so,
Oh, okay.
I've got an Argentina flag with Maradona like that on it. So
it's a good thing you're a Gills fan, otherwise we wouldn't be mates, would we?
No, good luck to England.
There we go. That's what we wanted, England fans. Good luck. We're going to need it on Saturday against Panama of all sorts.
Ironically, if Scotland are going to get through, you thumping Panama might do us a favour. Slim, but it could do us a favour.
I'm hoping you get there for the sake of just seeing you go through a little bit longer.
We're terrible. Oh, we deserve nothing.
Not as bad as Steve Clarke's interviews.
Oh my God, he was all. I mean, what? I turned it off at 3 when the third goal in. That's it. I'm going to bed. And his interview afterwards, I know he's upset, but if we at Gillingham, a Gillingham player, had made the mistakes that Hendry McKenna made, and Robertson, we'd have strung them up by the lampposts. And let's be honest, Gordon at centre half would have been better.
Let's hope he is.
Liam Gordon at centre half now.
Let's hope maybe a good season at Gills can give him a call up.
Yeah. Well, I just hope just hope it gave you all a good laugh. And all I'll say is the bloody aliens didn't turn up either. There were no abductions. Even God hates
let's see how the rest of the tournament goes. Gills fans, as far as we're concerned, where are you looking forward to heading in the 26-27 season? Hopefully, you're all sort of looking ahead and planning your weekend getaways and your long haul trips to the other end of the country. 3 more episodes of Meet the ME7 coming up in the next few weeks. Dave, you're going to be one of those. Scoops is going to be another one of those if we ever get him back from where maybe the aliens took him. Who knows?
Maybe they took him. I hope he's all right.
Oh, he's all right. Oh, he's just messaged and said that his phone's not working. These young people and their technology, I don't get it myself. Stay tuned Stay tuned for more from us in the summer as we look on towards the start of the season. Try and stay cool as possible. Ride out the heat wave and turn off your hoses this weekend or you'll be in trouble. Until then, have a great weekend and up the Gills.